And welcome everyone to the first round of WIAA state playoffs in the 2021 season. A return to a little bit of the normalcy we had pre-COVID-19, as last year there were no state playoffs. And your O'Day Fighting Irish will look to get their runs to state started here tonight against the Kelso Highlanders. I'm Harlan Grady.
I'm Jack Nolan.
And we're here to get you rolling in just a few seconds.
And it looks like O'Day has won the toss and elected to defer until the second half. That means that Kelso will get the ball first here, back deep to return for the Highlanders. Number 3, Connor Noah, as well as number 14, Judah Kalixti. And that is the guy that you're going to want to watch a lot tonight, because he is their starting running back in their offset I formation that they run plenty of, with a fullback, halfback, as well as 3 wide receivers and no tight ends. Not an orthodox backfield, however, that has got them to state this far. So with that being said, we are just about underway here at Memorial Stadium in Seattle, and DeSimone with the kick. Is a lob kick fielded about the 12-yard line by Kalixti. Kalixti makes a move, and he is taken down about the 28-yard line, and that is where the Highlanders will set up shop. My apologies, that is Colby Cooper on the return. Kalixti, however, is the number 1 guy for this Highlanders team in the backfield. I've talked a little bit about Kalixti this point so far. However, this Irish defense has been dominant all season long. Every single game just really locked down in most aspects with very few mistakes so far. One bad game versus Lake Stevens. Other than that, they've been pretty close to perfect. Dropping back pass, looks left. He's got Cooper left side, who's taken out of bounds at about the 36-yard line, and that'll set up a second and short there. Back slinging it tonight is number 15. It looks like that is Hunter Latier, and that will set up a second and short.
Well, Kelso this season 8-2 with losses to Mountain View and Skyview, but other than that, this pistol formation that they will not set up in here, as there's the handoff up the middle, and he has some room to run, but he is taken down. Loud hit by Camacho. Looks like he might have gotten the first down, and that will move the chance for the Highlanders. 2 plays and a first down. Efficiency early. They've 8-2, a better winning percentage than the Irish, but definitely the lower seeded team. Max Preps has them as the number 16 team, but they're the number 14 in the state here, ranked by the WIAA. They're coming to Seattle for the 3rd time in recent memory, and the last time was in 2019 when they were defeated 35-0, as there's another solid run for about 7 yards, setting up second and short. Their last game against the Irish, they lost 35-0 to an O'Day team that went on to get to state that year in an eventual loss to Eastside Catholic. But this year, they're looking to start up a little bit of a Cinderella run here early, and we'll see what they can do tonight. It'll be a key first step to getting to state for them.
As here's Latier back in the pistol. Gives it off to Cooper, that's Connor Noah on the carry. He gets 2, and that'll set up a 3rd down and short here. Connor Noah, a small, elusive back, a guy that can fit in tight spaces. However, he gets downhill very quickly, not unlike Jason Brown for the Irish, and fitting in those small holes, but moving quickly through them is one of his specialties.
Well, Latier is definitely a mobile quarterback, but they don't quite love to run with him as much as previous opponents. They're going to keep him in the backfield with a lot of boot outs and play action passes. So he'll take the snap here again on 3rd and short, hand it to his running back, who will, depending on the spot, either have a very close first down or be stopped short. And they will spot that short of the first down, and the Highlanders will be spotted here with a 4th and just about 1/2 of an inch early in this game. Critical 4th down situation.
And right here, an early stop from O'Day could prove as a momentum builder for the Irish defense. However, if the Highlanders continue to move the ball how they have been, this could give them an early score, which could also give them a momentum boost, as we see linebackers closing in Run up the middle, left side now from Noah. Noah tries to turn the corner, unable to, taken down near the line of scrimmage, which is near the first down line. However, a flag is thrown. We will wait on the call there, but as it is, it looks like the ball will be placed pretty close to the line of scrimmage, but not close enough for a first down. We'll wait for the official call from the man in the white hat, though.
Well, definitely an interesting play call there. You'd think they just try to run it up the gut of O'Day, but when your linemen are a little bit undersized, as most teams are against this big Irish defense, looks like they'll move the ball up 15 yards, and as it'll be a face mask against the Irish, moving the ball up 15 yards for the Highlanders, putting them across the 50 and into a pretty dangerous position here early. Well, as I was saying, a little bit of an interesting play call there. You think you might just want to run it up the throat, but it pays off for them as he's eventually brought down by the face mask, and the Highlanders will move the chains. Let's see what they do here as Latier takes the snap and hands off. Bounces off of one, bounces off of another, and Holiday makes the tackle for just a gain of 2.
Nice tackle from Holiday. They're able to wrap up pretty well on Noah and just drive him backwards, making sure he wasn't able to get any more yards, making sure that inside hip to inside hip, inside shoulder tackling occurs on a frequent basis. That is something that Holiday is so good at, making sure these backs and receivers do not get any yards after contact on him.
Holiday is going to be put in a big position. This Kelso offense will force him to make a lot of tacklers tonight. Expect him to be the leading tackler for this Irish defense. As he looks to his right, Latier fighting off a tackler, and he is eventually brought down. That's a big sack there from Zach Proctor, the big D end. As he was fighting, as Latier was trying to push him off of him, but a big body like Proctor could not be denied. So there comes the early down sack for the Irish.
And last week it was the Pizza Hall show from Anthony Hall on that defensive line. He accumulated 5 sacks, which was his high school career high, and his first multi-sack appearance in the postseason. Here's Latier on 3rd and long. Drop back, rolls right. Now he looks left for his receiver. He's got him. Nice move there from the receiver number 2. That Zeke Smith will get 20, a little more than 20, and that will set up a nice first down and 10 in the red zone at the 20-yard line for the Highlanders here early.
Wow, well, to say this has been an impressive drive would be an understatement. The away team, the lower-ranked seed, coming in here and really controlling a great drive down the field here early. And that was a nice screen pass on 3rd and very long, just using the Irish's aggressiveness against them. And that will set up a clean set of downs for the Highlanders. So we'll see if Latier can do it here, can convert here, as there's the handoff. He'll wait a little bit, but he's eventually brought down. Short gain of about 4. Connor Noah here has been the early down back for the Highlanders. He's looked solid, and they've been moving the ball well. So whatever game plan they've chosen to use here early has been paying off for them. They're going to come out here on 2nd down and long. It'll be interesting to see if the Irish will try to force Latier to get it done through the air. See if he can work the ball downfield with his arm, as there's another handoff to Noah, who will make a few men miss, but follows some great blocking and get what is very close to a first down, but I believe it will be spotted 3rd down and very short for the Fighting Irish.
Connor Noah has been the dominant force in this backfield this drive here early. That could be the key to stopping the Highlanders here. If O'Day can figure out how to stop Noah from finding those holes and getting through them early, that could help them in the long run from preventing Noah from doing some serious damage.
Steve Amrine, the head coach of Kelso here, would love to see an early conversion from his guys, as they're going to try to turn this red zone trip into points. As there's the pressure off the right side. He's brought down by the linebacker, Camacho. 2 big tackles early. One's a sack, and that'll set up 3rd down and about 7 for the Highlanders. A huge loss there, which prevents a 3rd down and short in the deep red zone for the Highlanders. And now they'll have to look to Latier to get it done through the air on 3rd down and 7.
Great job there from the junior Dane Camacho, getting in the backfield with ease and taking down Latier immediately when he got back there. Dan Camacho is really an animal when it comes to his defensive skills at that linebacker position. He can really do it all in pass coverage, having an interception last year in the Metro playoffs, as well as getting in the backfield with ease. And this time it's Mark Naboo taking down Latier on 4th down, and that will be an early turnover here for the Irish. Mark Naboo getting in the backfield with Little, trying to stop him. Their incredible job from the 6'6" senior, and that is where Kohler and the offense will take over for their first drive in this one.
Well, if I'm Coach Amrine here, I'm wanting my quarterback to be able to get out of that one. A scenario early that looks like he would have been able to probably convert and get out of that sack, but not able to use his legs, and Naboo's able to get through to the backfield as here's Kotsakis off the near side, and he was brought down after a short gain.
Georgios Katsakis as well as Jason Brown, the duo we've been seeing for the most part of this season. However, tonight we could see featured in the backfield Khalil Holiday as well as Donovan Agassid, two guys that Donovan making a return after an early injury back in week 1 against Union. But Khalil Holiday last week had a 30-yard rushing touchdown, has really shown his relevance in this Irish running back squad, as Kohler has it here, split backs, one receiver to either side, and it looks like O'Day got multiple defensive linemen from Kelso to jump, and that will set up a 2nd and shorter.
That penalty is encroachment on the defense.
The penalty is encroachment on Kelso, so they will set up here with a 2nd down and 2 as opposed to 2nd down and 7 here. Definitely an ideal penalty for the Irish. Lets them kind of decide what they want to do here on 2nd down versus just trying to get as many yards as they can, which was the goal on 2nd and long. Katsakis in motion as well as Gallagher. Here's the give to Holiday. Holiday cuts up the middle, breaks a few tackles, still driving forward and makes his way to the 38 where he will be stopped. However, that is good enough for an O'Day 1st down.
Well, interesting to see Khalil Holiday out there taking starter reps. Not surprising at all, as he's definitely more than earned his spot after last week's performance against Auburn. You wonder if there might be an injury to starter Jason Brown, or if they're just trying a different route today, as Holiday is out there early for the Irish. John Kohler, as usual, in the backfield, taking snaps for the Irish as he'll hand to Kotsakis. So look up the middle and get room. Fortunately, not enough, as it looks like he could have been able to get a little bit loose there, as shrugs off one tackle and it's brought down after a gain of about 7.
And Holiday, a guy that later on in the game could pose as a threat. Jason Brown obviously has that speed and quick foot movement, giving him that agility to break into open space. However, Holiday, more of a power back that still has that speed, a guy that these linebackers are not going to want to be tackling late in the 4th quarter when they're worn out. Here's Holiday again, up the middle, across the 40. He's got 3 defenders chasing him. Will they catch him? No, they will not. Early touchdown here for the Irish, putting them up 6-0. Khalil Holiday with the 61-yard touchdown run.
Well, that exactly is why you have Khalil Holiday in your backfield. He just made a huge play. He'll take that one all the way to the crib. The Irish will be up early, and that's exactly why you want him back there. What a play, as he'll take that one all the way to the crib, and the Irish will go up 6-0 here with about 3 minutes left in the 1st quarter.
And Khalil Holiday, I mentioned he's more of a power back, but I also said he's got that speed that you need. And as you saw there, he was able to outrun 3 Kelso defensive backs, getting the Irish on the board here early, as it's DeSimone on for the extra point try. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is perfect. 7-0, the score here early for the Irish, the ones to get on the board first. We'll be right back here live on YouTube after a quick break. And we are back here live on YouTube after the 61-yard touchdown carry from Holiday. Here's DeSimone and the rest of the Irish special teams to give this one back to Kelso. The Highlanders had a good drive moving last possession. However, it was stopped short after 2 clutch sacks from the sophomore Zach Proctor and the senior Mark Naboo, forcing a turnover on downs. Looking for a different result there, but they do know how to move through some of these holes in the Irish front 7. As here's the kick from DeSimone, fielded about the 7 or 8 yard line, taken back by Cooper. Cooper tries to find a hole. He's not able to, as he is taken down by the sophomore Davis Downer. Great hit there from the baseball wazoo commit. And at the 23-yard line is where Kelso will take over for their second drive.
Well, definitely some adjustments need to be made here on the O'Day defensive front because they were getting cooked early by the Kelso Highlanders, and they're going to need to make some changes if they're going to stop them from driving down the field here once again. So there's the snap and the handoff, and he'll have a huge gap. The Kelso line is controlling the line of scrimmage quite nicely. Unfortunately, the second level is being pretty unblocked, and they've been able to get some solid 4 or 5 yard gains on first down, but not much more than that. One of the keys to the game for the Irish today was dominating the line of scrimmage against an undersized and underexperienced Kelso team, and they're going to look to make them pay. But early in this game, it's been Kelso on the ones controlling the line and not O'Day. As there's the design run, and then the pitch, the double option, is he'll try to cut back, but there's nowhere for him to go, so he'll be brought down and set up 3rd and 2.
And that's Calixte there on the carry, a guy that I said would be a huge threat in this one. He is another power back speed combo like Khalil Holiday. However, he is much more heavily relied on than Holiday, but he does still run that shared role with Noah. We're just going to have to see what Kelso decides to do here early on to establish that run game.
It'll be interesting to see if they want to turn more to Latier to get it done through the air here, as their run attack has been good but not great early. As we'll see what they want to do here on 3rd down, as there's the snap, and it looks like a design run and a screen out wide, and it's caught, and he'll be looking to get to the outside, and he will. He'll get the first down. Trey Stokes was there to push him out of bounds at the end, but not in time. That'll move the chains to the Highlanders, a trend that we've seen early.
Tyler Hayes on the reception, the 5'10", 160-pound receiver there. He's a smaller guy that can move in space. However, he is not completely undersized, so he's still that big enough target for Latier to see in close spaces. As here's Latier on 1st down. Drops back to pass, looks left side. He's got his man again. That is Mays. However, no, it is incomplete. That's Kyan McDonald jarring the ball loose in coverage. Great job by the sophomore, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 here. Kyan McDonald, a guy that's been making his presence known here in his sophomore season, had a solid freshman season. However, he struggled with pass interference penalties, but he's really been able to figure those out in his sophomore season, especially in week 1, making an example of Tobias Merriweather, locking him up in multiple occasions. As here's the fumble from the Highlanders. O'Day says they have it. We'll wait for the official call. And it looks like they will give it to the Irish. Zach Proctor, the one to come up with it. It looks like a miscommunication there on the run, and that will give O'Day great field possession here after the turnover.
Well, you know that Coach Mays on the D-line has been instilling a total sense of ball hawkness as they've been getting to every fumble here this season, recovering them, getting on top of them, and not letting anybody pry it out of their grasps, as that'll force it back to the offensive side where the Irish have been great. And outshots Jason Brown. So for this drive, we'll see more of Brown, and it looks like Khalil Holiday will be on the sideline after his big touchdown run last time. And there's Donovan Agassi returning off of injury, as there's the handoff to Brown. He gets some great blocking. He's looked to cut it off the left side. He looks to make a man miss, and he wins the battle. He's down the sideline, and he is eventually pushed out down inside of the 10-yard line, and a flag flies on the hit at the end. But Jason Brown in his first carry looks to make a big impact and he'll be down inside the 10, pushing the Irish into the red zone for their first red zone trip of the day.
Great job there by Jason Brown, able to turn that corner using that electric speed we see so often and get the Irish into the red zone for the first time this game. It looks like this might be a personal foul on Kelso. We'll wait for the call here. It is a personal foul on Kelso, so that will set them up about half a distance to the goal, setting up about the 4 or 5 yard line, it looks like. But another guy in this backfield I'd like to note, number 22, Donovan Agassiz. The first 3 plays of the season, he was the featured man, whether he was catching a pass or running the ball. He was the guy they looked to. Unfortunately, after that, he had an ankle injury, making this his first game back this season. We see the trip. It's running back formation here on 1st and goal.
Definitely great for Donovan to be back. There'll be 3 backs in the backfield. The handoff will go to Brown. He'll look to make a man miss, and we'll see if they can push the pile. And they cannot, but he'll be down inside the 5. Brown with 2 carries so far. The Irish will look to capitalize on 2nd down and goal here from the 4. Definitely great to see Brown in and healthy, moving around just fine, as there may have been some fears that he was injured, but it looks like they just wanted Khalil Holiday to take some first-time reps. Still break the huddle here and see if they can punch this one in from 4 yards out. Agassiz and Brown in the backfield with Gallagher and Jackson Gallagher and Lipscomb to the outside. Kohler down, takes the snap, pitches to Brown off the outside, gets some good blocking, and he will make it in! Touchdown, Irish! JB in for the touchdown, 6 on his chest, 6 on the board, and the Irish will go up 13-0.
Jason Brown there, the pitch to the outside, immediately recognized that was not going to work, so he cuts inside, hurdles over some defensive linemen on the ground, and is able to get an incredible footwork and recognition from the sophomore, and getting the Irish the 2nd score of the game here, putting them up 13-0. Again, it's Severio DeSimone. We're going to put one more up on the board here for our day. 1 minute left here in the first quarter of play. This game has flown by so far, as it looks like Kelso will jump. And that'll move them from about the 3 to the 1.5 yard line. The 1.5 yard line. We'll wait for the official call here. I saw Kohler,
the quarterback, to be clear.
Kohler, the quarterback, saying that they should maybe decline the call, possibly too close for the ball to get up. However, O'Day looks like they will decline that penalty. Extra point try here still from the 3 yard line, making it a little easier on DeSimone. He has been near perfect this entire season, doing a really incredible job in every kicking aspect of the game. Missed very few field goals, and I believe 1 extra point all season as he continues that very good streak. 14-0 with 1 minute left. The Irish are rolling right now. Kelso looking to respond some way, somehow.
Well, that was a nice attempt by Colby Cooper to block that kick off the outside. Didn't quite work out for him, as we'll see the kickoff coming up here in just a second. Kelso Highlanders in their trademark gold helmets here in white uniforms, looking slick. They make the trip up from just about an hour and a half south of Seattle, as they have done many times in the past, as they usually get matched up with O'Day in these state playoffs. Just by a coincidence of the matter, as Simone will be back to kick for the Irish. Let's see what they have here. And as the Irish have a 14-0 lead, let us remind you that I'm Harlan Grady.
I'm Jack Nolan.
And we're here on your coverage on YouTube. As the Fighting Irish will kick it off, Simone to Cooper, who will run it out, get some good blockers in front, and take it out to the 30. And almost to the 35, so he'll be brought down at about the 33 by a few red jerseys, including the kicker, DeSimone, on the tackle.
One of the Irish on the tackle there, number 24, Anton Arujo, a guy that has really he came off a torn meniscus injury from the basketball season last year, a two-sport varsity athlete who looks to start in both positions, but he's a guy that knows how to play the sport of football very well. He's got that football IQ, ball IQ, knows where he needs to be in every circumstance, and already had a pick last week and looks to do more this week, as it's Cooper with room to run, or Connor Noah with room to run there, and that will give him a first down on the gain of 13. Connor Noah able to get downhill very, very quickly, and so far O'Day has not been able to figure out how to stop that. If he continues doing that, that could hurt this O'Day defense in the long run. However, they've been able to capitalize on these mistakes enough for that not to be a factor on the scoreboard just yet. As here's Letier on first down, I'm sorry. Pass right side complete. 88 tries to make a move on Trey Stokes. He'll have none of that though. On their reception there for the Highlanders, Reese Collins, and that will set up a second down and very short here for Kelso.
Well, definitely something fooled Trey Stokes there on the outside as Collins looked to be wide open, couldn't quite make a move, as that play will take us to the end of the first quarter. Solid quarter there from the Irish, a great start. It's definitely where you want to be is 14-0 after 12 minutes of play. We're here under the lights of the Space Needle. I'm Harlan Grady.
I'm Jack Nolan.
We'll be right back to start the second quarter here at Memorial Stadium. Hello, welcome back. We're going to start out the second quarter of play here at Memorial Stadium with the O'Day Fighting Irish up 14-0 over Kelso here early in the first round of state playoffs.
And overall offense clicking on both sides of the field here as it's Letier dropping back, looks deep for his receiver, and he will overthrow him by about 10 yards or so there. And that will set up a third down and short here for the Highlanders. Offense really clicking for both teams here. However, it is not reflected on the scoreboard. Two key mistakes by the Highlanders on both their starting drives. A fumble on the second drive, back on the first drive. They got deep into the Irish's red zone territory. However, two big sacks came from that D-line, and that caused a turnover on downs. Looking to do something different here on the third drive of the game here for Letier.
There's the snap and the handoff, and it's fumbled, but whistles before the play. Looks like probably a false start on the Highlanders will back them up 5 yards. Indeed, that is the penalty, and the Highlanders will be backed up 5 yards before they get a third down opportunity. They'll still be across the 50 on the Irish 49 as they'll look to convert on third down, which they have done well here early in this one. Their offense has been clicking. Unfortunately, not much to show for it on the scoreboard as it's 14-0, but they have been moving the ball well here early. As there's the snap, looks like a triple option. The pitch to the outside, and they'll look to make the tackle. Stokes on the outside pushes him out of bounds, as well as Brendan Murphy was there pursuing him from behind. Nice play on the outside by the Irish.
Great job there from the O'Day secondary, making sure Noah could not turn that corner. So far, that option run has given the Highlanders a little room to work with, a few options, if you will, to be able to just mess with this Irish defense a little bit. But that O'Day secondary making sure right there nothing got by them, and that will bring up a 4th down and 8. As here comes the first punt of the game from either side. It looks like it's Calixte for Kelso. High snap, bobbled a little bit, and he will try to run with it. However, he will get nowhere as it's J-Mo Saxton and Mark Naboo making the play, giving the Irish great field possession here to start this one out. Great job from the two senior defensive tackles, making sure Calixte could get nothing.
Well, really a good decision there, and I say good decision with about as much pain in my voice as I possibly can, because that did not work out at all. But a good decision there by Calixte to pull that one down and see if he could run with it, as he is the starting running back for this Highlanders offense. Unfortunately, not much he could do with that bad snap. The ball will turn over on downs. John Kohler and the Fighting Irish will trot out to see if they can add 7 to this lead. As split backs, and the give will be to Holiday, who has some room up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's trying to break another, but he can't quite get it. Still gets 14 and a first down on the inaugural play of the drive for the Fighting Irish.
And this is the first round of state playoffs. Last week, both Kelso and O'Day were able to win their competitions. O'Day was awarded the 3 seed, Kelso the 14th seed. There are 4 total rounds, with the final of them being the WIAA 3A state championship down at Sparks Stadium in Puyallup. As here's Kohler under center again. He'll pitch left side to Holiday. Holiday makes a little bit of a stiff arm and is able to force his way forward to about the 18, and that will give the Irish a second and short here.
Holiday has been running well early tonight, as there we saw the stiff arm to get to the outside. Couldn't quite move the chains, but it was a nice play by Holiday to get off the outside, and he'll sub out, and we'll see Jason Brown in the backfield for the Fighting Irish.
I will say I do like this dual threat running back situation Coach Kohler's got going on here. Jason Brown with those quick feet and Khalil Holiday with those powerful runs are really effective in a lot of situations here. Kind of get both sides of the run game from Kohler, as it's Brown this time up the middle, makes a few guys miss, and Brown will get 3 there, as it will be close to the first down line. It looks like they will give it to him, but we will wait for the official call. It is right at the line. There is a penalty flag on the field, though, so we'll wait for that call.
Man, the white hat will trot out. If I had to guess, I'd say probably a face mask on Jason Brown. Indeed, that is the call. We'll move the ball 15 yards up the field for the Irish, who will move into the red zone and get ready to try and punch another one in. Add 7 to this lead and get off to about as good of a start as you can ask for. Looks like Kelso will have to make a goal line stop if they want to keep this one close early. As there's Brown and Kotsakis in the backfield, a combo we've seen all year. Kotsakis will move to the left side. Brown takes the handoff, cuts up the middle, nowhere for him to go. Flag flies in the middle of the play. But that was not their best play yet, as Jason Brown was stopped at the line again with nowhere to go. I assume just a missed block there from the Irish offensive line.
And the winner of this competition, as it is a holding on O'Day, the winner of this competition will move on to the state quarterfinal matchup between the winner of Kennewick and Spanaway Lake, which is at 1 p.m. tomorrow. So the winner of that and the winner of this game will advance forward. And that will, right now, Kennewick, the favorite at the 6th seed, Spanaway Lake listed as the 11th seed. And the winner of that matchup will face the winner of a few matchups in the state semifinal at Popkini, as here's Jason Brown up the middle, still moving forward, and he will get about 4 there on the carry, and that will set up a second down and not much more, not much less than the 20.
Well, it's first down and 20, obviously backed up, not where you want to be, but they'll push it forward, and Brown will get a nice gain there on first down. Try to push it up a little bit more, as they'll try and convert here on second down and pretty long. Look at Joe Gallagher off the right side, as there's whistles before the play. Timeout will be called by the Fighting Irish. and we will take a short break. I'm Harlan Grady.
I'm Jack Nolan.
We'll be right back here live on YouTube.
Hey Nolan, Paco doesn't grab your mic and try to commentate, does he? That's detention worthy.
As we will see what the Fighting Irish have in their plan of attack, as they'll go from 2nd and 16 from the Kelso 20-yard line here with 9 minutes and 13 seconds remaining, as there's flags before the play. Looks like it could go against the Irish, backing them up. And it will be indeed a false start against the Fighting Irish, backing them up another 5 yards, not where they expected to be when they started this drive inside the red zone.
And definitely not what you want to be seeing right here if you're O'Day with that run-first offense. A 2nd and long like this, 2nd and 21 here, that doesn't really give you the option to run too much. However, Kohler passing the ball has been fairly consistent here later in the season. Had a few hiccups earlier on, however, he has developed his game to be able to look to multiple targets, including Joe Gallagher, as well as Tucker Ashcraft here, who's been his favorite red zone target. And a timeout will be called by O'Day once again. Looks like a miscommunication there, and John Kohler was definitely not happy about that. But Tucker Ashcraft, a guy who's really established himself as a red zone presence here throughout the season, especially with that Week 1 performance against Union, mossing the Notre Dame commit Tobias Merriweather and making some highlight plays since then in some critical moments.
This has been an interesting drive for the Fighting Irish. They've had multiple pre-snap penalties. One after the snap. They've called 2 of their 3 first half timeouts, and they still didn't look to get it situated after many, many tries. John Kohler, the starting quarterback, very frustrated with his offense, as we'll see Brown and Agassiz in the backfield for the Irish here on 2nd down at about 20. Interesting decisions here for the offensive coordinator of the Fighting Irish, as we'll see if they want to air it out, test John Kohler's air capabilities, or just do as they always do and put it on the ground with Brown or Agassiz.
Here's Kohler under center.
Looks to his right, throws deep, Gallagher open, touchdown! He's in! Kohler with the perfect ball to Joe Gallagher, and that's good for 6 for the Irish, and they'll take a 20-0 lead.
Joe Gallagher, a guy who has established himself time and time again as a speed threat who can catch just about anything, as you see on the replay there, making sure he had all 9 of those steps inbounds, but a guy who can really just break away from defenders and make those catches. Great job there from the 6-foot senior, and that will put the Irish up 20 here with DeSimone on for his 3rd extra point try of the game.
Simone up, and good.
Simone 3 for 3 on the night, continues to be one of the many bright spots for the Irish. And that offensive line there once again making it easy for Kohler to roll out and find his target Gallagher wide open in the end zone for 6 more. That offensive line led by senior Keith Hendershot, who I was able to talk to a little bit this week, and he said, you know, we try to do the same exact thing. Just doing our jobs is very important, and that will let Kohler, as well as the rest of the running backs, be able to do their thing as well.
Well, that is what you want to see for the Irish. I've been talking over recent weeks about their offensive diversity, and that is where you want to be. Joe Gallagher looking for the pass from Kohler, and he's finally able to get a catchable one. It's good, and it's and it's in the back right corner of the end zone, and he's able to haul it in. That's a key piece of film for the Irish as they'll look to replicate that in future weeks. DeSimone back to kick. No surprise there.
As back deep for the Highlanders is Hayes and Noah. Two shorter, however, faster guys for this Highlanders team. And generally, the Kelso Highlanders are undersized in comparison to O'Day. However, they are able to make up for that size with speed in many different ways. As the return is bobbled a little bit from Mays. Mays cutting left side, able to make a man or two miss. Now he's swarmed by red jerseys and taken down at the 20-yard line, where Kelso will start this next drive here. And frankly, at this point, if I'm Latier, this is a time where I don't want O'Day to just run away with this one. Harlan mentioned earlier, 2 years ago, in just one round later, O'Day was able to beat Kelso 35-0. Actually, I do believe it was this same round they were able to win 35-0 over the Highlanders. They don't want that to happen again. However, that's how it's looking right now. So Latier, play action, drops back, looks right side, incomplete. Looks like the pass was maybe batted down there. I'm guessing by Mark Naboo, and that will bring up 2nd and 10.
Believe it was batted down there by Naboo. That's a big way to start a defensive drive. You want to hold this lead. Your offense has just scored. You're trying not to give these points right back to him, and that's a great start there. As Naboo's able to bat that one down. And we'll be able to see what the Highlanders can bring out. See if they can get some points on the board to show for their early offensive production. There's to the right. The screen pass is set up. Looks to get off the outside, and he is hit by Newsom, and then he's hit by Holiday, and then he's hit by McDonald. And he is just bullied there off the right side. Nice catch by Cooper, catch and run opportunity, and we've seen Kelso run that screen many times here early.
3 key mistakes here from the Kelso offense. That is what's been holding them back from 3 scores. The missed snap on the punt, which was the least of the 3. However, a fumble as well as a turnover on downs early on has prevented those scores. Definitely not what you want to see at your Kelso. However, knowing how to get into those spots where you can go for it on 4th down, that is good for them. And if they can keep on doing that, that could help them in the long run. As that's Kalikste taken down by Zach Newsom, short of the line of scrimmage, it looks like. And that will actually put them forward about a yard on 4th and 1. Kalikste coming onto the field, it looks like, to punt. However, we know since he is that starting running back, he could easily tuck this one down and run, even if it is not a botched snap here. Back deep, and I say that with air quotes, is Kyan McDonald as he steps a few steps deeper at this time. Here's Kalikste. He will punt. Lefty punter here. Don't see that too often these days. Ball will bounce at the 40-yard line. Takes an Irish-friendly bounce back to midfield, giving the Irish a nice 10 yards there, and at the 50-yard line is where O'Day will take over for this next drive. Really just trying to do what they've been doing. That's the goal here for Kohler and the offense. However, this Kelso defense is looking to make a stop. That has been one side of this game that has not been too bright. These guys have just not found an answer for Khalil Holiday and Jason Brown. And finally, when they thought they had maybe found one, they did not account for the speed threat of Joe Gallagher, who was able to break loose and get in the end zone for the 20-yard touchdown catch there. As here's Kohler under center. Split back formation, they give to Holiday here. Holiday finding some room at the middle. Breaking tackle, still moving forward. And that will give him about 8. And that will set up a 2nd and short here. Great job by Holiday doing his thing. Bursting forward through the front 6 or 7 from Kelso and setting up the next down with few yards to go on the next play there. However, he was definitely supported by that O'Day offensive line. I can only imagine, as Jason Brown says, it is heaven running behind those guys. I can only imagine it is led by the huge bodies in front of him. Here's Kohler under center in the eye. Pitches left side to Holiday. Holiday finding some room to run. However, he is hit and taken down at about the 37, but not before he can pick up an Irish first down.
Not a surprise there, as Holidays looked really solid early. He looks a little bit banged up walking back to the huddle, but he's looked great early as him and Jason Brown have been splitting reps, but it looks like they will send Brown out as Khalil Holiday was walking back to the huddle looking a little banged up there. If the Irish can get this one in, put another 6 up on the board, they can pretty much just play defense and run the ball this one away, because they will be up huge very early as the linebackers blitz and Jason Brown is hit at the line, is able to fall forward for another few yards.
Jason Brown there hit around the line of scrimmage. However, he was able to push forward for about 4 yards there. Definitely a nice factor to have. I know he's been looked at by a lot of top college football programs nationwide, and that has got to be one part of his game that they do like. He's a little undersized, staying at 5'10". However, each one of those 180 pounds in his body is a pure muscle, and with those leg muscles, he's able to power forward through those defensive linemen and linebackers and set up extra yards after contact. Jason Brown making a few men miss, still going forward, and he is able to move to the 26-yard line. And it looks like that will get the Irish another fresh set of downs. Jason Brown doing his thing.
Colby Cooper's been all over the field here early for Kelso, playing at safety, and he's also been out wide receiving most of the passes here for this Highlanders offense. Definitely been a name to watch here early for the Highlanders.
And this Kelso defense looking to do anything to stop these O'Day running backs. It's really a group of backs that are notoriously known around the Metro League as well as the state of Washington as some of the best backs out there. Jason Brown, obviously the big name you hear consistently, as it looks like Kelso will jump off sides. It is an encroachment by the Kelso defense, giving the Irish 5 more yards to set up a first and medium. But these O'Day backs, they can really do it all, from the power of Donovan Agassiz to the quick feet of Jason Brown. These guys can do any element of the game, and they do it oh so very well.
Well, you can say that again, as I would love to see another rushing touchdown here from one of the Irish backs. Put them up really big, really early, and see if the Irish can lock this one away. There's Agassiz short as the safeties. You'll see the deepest player from Kelso is about 7 yards downfield as the pitch to Brown is off the left side. He'll look to cut back to the middle, and there's Colby Cooper yet again on the tackle for the Highlanders. Jason Brown couldn't quite get that one to go, but he'll still get close to the first down marker. And that's another big play from him. Although you only see him for 4 or 5 yards each time, and this includes Khalil Holiday, those little chippy gains are tiring out this defense here. And you can see that even with 4 minutes to go in the second half, they are starting to feel that fatigue, as Oliver Braich, who was expected to be a game-time decision tonight, has been out there most of the snaps for the Irish, as Kohler will take the snap. And pitch to Brown off the right side this time. He'll cut out back up the middle and look to get to the sideline. Stiff arms one, and he is eventually brought down. A nice tackle there by Kalikste, and there the flag will fly as there's some chatter over there on the sideline by the Highlanders. Brown not one to shout back, but the refs are calling this game pretty tightly, not looking for it to escalate, as we know what can happen if that happens.
And Jason Brown, definitely a name that I bet was on every sheet of film that these Highlanders reviewed, as that is two fouls on against Kelso on Jason Brown so far. Looks like it was a horse collar this time on the Highlanders, moving it half a distance to the goal at the 9-yard line. But back to Harlan was saying, one group of players that is not get tired later on in this one, that O'Day offensive line. I know that Coach Monty Kohler loves to pride himself on being the most fit and physical team in Washington, and being able to last deep into the fourth quarter really helps them with that fitness and just being able to outwear some of these opposing defensive lines.
Definitely one name to watch is Jameson Saxton there. As there's the give to Holiday, and he's in! Before I can even realize that Holiday is in for the touchdown. 29 with his second touchdown of the night. Holiday showing out early, and the Irish will push their lead 28-0 here late in the second quarter, as Holiday has been a force all night for the Fighting Irish.
Last week, Khalil Holiday had his first rushing touchdown of the season. And before that, really only coming in when Jason Brown came out for a few plays due to cramps or maybe getting hit and his helmet fell off or something like that. But over these past few games, past 2 games to be specific, he has been a force on the field. Had a 30-yard rushing touchdown last week and already has his second of the night tonight as the kick is up and good from D. Simone. 4 for 4 on the day. 3:30 left in the first half of this one. I'm Jack Nolan with Harlan Grady here. We'll be right back here live on YouTube when action resumes.
And we'll see if the Kelso Highlanders have it in them to respond to yet another score by running back Khalil Holiday. He has been on fire here early, pushing the Irish lead to 28-0 here. And it looks like the Irish will have a very insurmountable lead here as we approach halftime. It'll be cool to see, though, is if this Highlanders team can force a rally, get some points on the board, and go into halftime with a little bit of momentum, feeling good here. But I don't see that happening as the O'Day defense has very much tightened down, with the Kelso Highlanders offense failing to capitalize on one of their many scoring opportunities so far tonight.
Deep kick from D. Simone, fielded about the 15-yard line as he is hit, wrapped up and taken down by Sir Keenan Hart. And that will be where the Kelso offense takes over at just beyond the 22-yard line. Great job there from Hart, a physical guy who I know started at halfback for the JV team earlier this season, came in when Dane Camacho was out for a little bit against Garfield, and has really made his presence known on this Irish team at multiple positions. A physical guy that can do a lot of things.
You can say that again. O'Day defense will trot out there and look to hold the Kelso offense. Look to keep their shutout intact here. A little bit of a miscommunication on the line. They're going to get set. As there's the snap and a look to his right. Scramble off the right side and hit his wide receiver on the sideline, who will cut inside. Try to make Brendan Murphy miss, but the ball is out and recovered by Brendan Murphy. And no, it's not. It's still going. It's still just bobbling around. It has been going for about 10 yards. Do the Irish have the ball? That ball was never picked up. It just kept going and going and going. It will be inside the 10 for whichever team recovers it. And it will be. The Irish have the ball. The Irish have the football. The fumble at the 30-yard line goes back and back and back. Recovered inside the 10 by the Irish. Naboo there on the recovery. And the Irish will start their drive on the Highlanders 9.
See right there on the replay, not quite able to see who recovered. However, at the end of the day, I believe it was Arujo who was able to jump on top of it. Brendan Murphy, though, what a job to take down the receiver and knock the ball out, forcing it back all those yards. Great job there from the junior safety, who has been able to do so much this season in so many different ways, and it makes his presence known time and time again. As here's Kohler under center with Agassiz as well as Brown in the backfield. He will pitch to Brown right side, who is able to stiff arm a linebacker still moving forward, and that'll set up about a gain of 2 there.
He just walked over Cale Franz in there for the Highlanders. Not quite able to bring him down, but not surprising, as not many are able to do that. We'll see what happens here. Obviously, you'd want to push your lead. The 35-0 before the break, but the Highlanders, they're going to need a spark here. They have looked flat, especially approaching halftime, and their energy has gone downhill rapidly. And you'd love to see a touchdown carry from one of your backs here, preferably Donovan Agassiz. Get your senior back in the spotlight after an ankle injury early in the season, a miracle comeback. So here's Kohler, under center, takes the snap, hands to Brown up the middle, following his blockers. Following Keith Hendershot, the big man in the pile will be pushed back, but it looks like he'll get inside the 5, down to the 4, and it will be third down and goal from the 4 for the Irish. And we'll see if they can punch this one in, and they should be able to.
And right here, if I'm John Kohler, I'm wanting to take as much time off that play clock as possible. It is the playoffs, so they do have that available to them now in the back of either end zone. You can see at the top right corner of your screen is ticking down about 12 seconds now. Taking as much time off that as possible with a minute 35 here left in the quarter. It's Kohler in the gun, 3 receivers to his right. Now he rolls right looking for someone, and he's not able to find Gallagher in the end zone. Pass batted away there from number 11. That's Cooper once again.
Cooper has been all over the field for the Highlanders, and that is an impressive stand. There is DeSimone will trot out and attempt a field goal to push the lead to 31-0 here as we approach halftime at Memorial Stadium. Will they be able to get it? My guess is yes. Severio DeSimone has been one of the top kickers in the Metro League to date, and he will attempt this one from just about 21 yards as the snap and the hold almost blocked, but not, and it is up, and it is good. And there it is from Simone. Good, no surprise there, and it's 31-0. The O'Day Fighting Irish lead the Kelso Highlanders with just over a minute in the second half. I'm Harlan Grady.
I'm Jack Nolan.
We'll be right back.
And we are back here live on YouTube as it is Severio DeSimone getting ready to boot this one away after hitting the little chip shot there. However, those chip shots aren't always the easiest thing, as that one was almost blocked. Ball will be fielded about the 12-yard line, fielded by Cooper. Cooper running right side, trying to find room to run, unable to though. He gets about the 24-yard line where he will be taken down, and that is where Kelso will start for this next drive.
Bugby and Downer there on the tackle looked like a very solid hit. No surprise. Looking to earn some playing time there. Very physical on the kickoff unit.
And this kickoff unit, definitely an underrated thing most of the time. These guys are put in there because Kohler knows that they can hit, and they can hit hard, but they also can take down these ball returns even when they're running uncontrolled downhill. As here's Latier looking for anyone, finds his running back. However, it looks like that ball will be dropped by Connor Noah, and there's a flag in the backfield. I'm guessing that's roughing the passer on the Irish.
Yeah, Zach Proctor looked like he hit Latier a little too hard there, and I agree with that call. As long as that is the call. Zach Proctor just got a little over anxious there. I understand it, but you know, let's see what the man in the white hat has to say about that one. And indeed, personal foul, roughing the passer. That will be on number 86, Zach Proctor. Move the chains for the Highlanders, and maybe that's the spark that they needed to get their offense going here, approaching the break. We will see what they have here as Latier in the backfield. And he'll look to his left, looking shallow to Cooper, and Cooper will look to make a few men miss, but he will not be able to as Nabua and Newsom combine on the tackle. Sorry, pardon me, that's Anthony Hall and Zach Newsom on the tackle there of Colby Cooper. Colby Cooper, a little bit just left out to dry there. No blockers, making 3 red jerseys immediately in front of a miss is no easy task. As there's Latier with the snap and the handoff, and plenty of room up the middle, but he's met and dropped. Newson again on the tackle. He's been a force for the middle linebacker position so far.
Newsom and Camacho, the two linebackers out there for the Irish, making plays time and time again, as Kelso will take a timeout here with 23 seconds ticking on the clock left in the half. But like I was saying, Newsom and Camacho, two guys that just are consistently big playmakers. Newsom usually dropping back into coverage, and Camacho usually a pass rush linebacker. However, wherever and however they are used, they are dominant. I like to refer to Camacho myself as an animal a lot of the time because he has so much raw potential at his disposal at any time, and that physicality really plays into effect whenever he's on the field.
Camacho is a fun player to watch. He always brings the hustle, he always brings his heart, and he always plays with 110%. He's always flying around out there. See him go out for this play, as it'll be Sir Keenan Hart in at linebacker for the Irish. A sophomore who has blossomed, to say the least, as there's the screen to Cooper, and it'll be a little bit off target and off his fingers. Unfortunately, could not quite reel that one in, as it was a little bit off target from Latier.
And up next here at Memorial, we are ticking down to the end of the half. However, I can see on both sidelines right now in the stands, the Eastside Catholic 2-seed Crusaders going up against the 15-seed Stanwood after this game is over. However, 30 seconds left, not in the game, just in the half. We still have a long way to go in this one, and we know that anything can happen in the game of high school football. Here's Latier dropping back. He's rushed by Hall and taken down. Anthony Pizza Hall once again. He had 5 sacks last week, and that is his first tonight. Came out of nowhere, and Latier could not escape the pizza. And O'Day will get it after the turnover on downs at the 35-yard line. As you can see there, Hall coming in full head of steam, and Latier had nowhere to go as he goes down and doesn't try to force anything. Great job there from the junior defensive lineman.
Kohler under center for the Irish. Holiday and Kotsaki's in the backfield as he'll look to his right and pass, and it'll be just short of, I believe, Lipscomb and just over the head of Kotsaki's and fall to the ground in no man's land there, an incompletion.
Kohler at times this year has struggled to put the ball just perfectly in the right place, missing high, low, left or right. However, he was able to work on that a little bit, as we saw earlier with the touchdown pass to number 5, Joe Gallagher. Those types of plays really show you why Kohler is in that starting role, especially when he doesn't get to pass the ball too much. However, he goes over the top to Gallagher this time, but overthrows him a little too much, as Gallagher was able to get ahead of that double coverage. Kohler was just hoping he would have been able to get ahead a little more.
Well, good ball, if slightly overthrown there from Kohler, and he wasn't quite able to get it to Gallagher. A little bit of an overthrow. Nothing much you can do there, but 17 seconds left on 3rd down and 10. Can't imagine the Irish will do much on this play, as they'll have to rush in the huddle. 10 seconds on the play clock, and it's ticking. They'll look to get this snap off quickly with Holiday and Kotsaki's in the backfield. As there's the snap, he'll look to his right, look to his left, air it out. Jackson and Gallagher on that side, and it's almost picked off by Connor Noah, but instead it'll fall to the ground, incomplete. And with 11 seconds left in the half on 4th down, we'll see what the Irish want to do here on offense. Kohler to the sideline to talk with Kohler.
Must be about Kohler things, as checking into the game once again is John Kohler. Monty Kohler, unfortunately, is not checking into the game at quarterback, even though I think every single O'Day football fan would love to see that.
Look to his right, but there's the draw to Holiday, who will bounce off of one and bounce off of another, and then is brought down by wad of white jerseys. And with 3 seconds left, the Kelso Highlanders will take over on offense. And we'll see if they want to run or play or just enter a kneel down formation and run the clock out of this half.
And I can see back there deep is Anton Arujo standing about the 48-yard line, closer to the 50 now. I can't imagine he's going to move too much forward after that. All these defensive backs looking like they're going to play deep, making sure that just they don't get anything. And there we go. There's Stokes and Arujo as well as Holiday playing back at around the 45-yard line, their own 45-yard line, as it looks like Latier wants to try something here. Low snap, rolls out right, looks for something deep, way overthrows his target. Too wide and too long for Stokes. That will do it for the first half of play. I'm Jack Nolan.
I'm Harlan Grady.
We'll be right back here live on YouTube after half. Your score, 31 O'Day, 0 Kelso. I got you.
O'Day's more than just my school, it's where I live.
As soon as I walked in, I just felt at home.
There's a lot of choices of Catholic high schools in the Seattle area. We're the one that stands out. The learning here is exciting, they're participatory. The guys are held responsible.
O'Day's more than just my school, it's where I live.
As soon as I walked in, I just felt at home.
There's a lot of choices of Catholic high schools in the Seattle area. We're the one that stands out. The learning here is exciting, they're participatory. The guys are held responsible to fulfill our mission, to be men of character, faith, and service.
We've got students coming from 90 plus zip codes. Very rare does a group of students come from a middle school to O'Day together. When these guys recognize that we're pretty much all in the same situation together, it definitely makes it easier for them to open up, and it makes it easier for guys to connect.
You know, you don't even have to be the loudest person in the room. I'm not one of those people, but it's pretty easy to start meeting a lot of new people.
I walk by classrooms and I see students are up out of their seats. They're moving around, they're engaged. The teachers are dynamic.
They want to help you and want to see you succeed so you can do the things you want to do, like clubs and sports.
It's definitely like a college prep school. I take an introduction to engineering, and I want to go into engineering when I'm in college. That gives me the option to learn what it's about before I get there.
O'Day has a strong academic program. We offer a lot of AP courses and honors courses, and we have great technology that supports the learning needs of our students.
Every student here has a Microsoft Surface. It's extremely convenient because all your work is there.
Surface is definitely your best friend. You do homework on it, communicate with your teachers, communicate with your classmates.
I can just carry on my Surface, and that's all I need. I have no large books that I have to carry or buy.
There are 4 houses in O'Dea: Kilkenny, Limerick, Dublin, and Waterford. When you're a freshman, you get automatically assigned to one of those houses.
Regularly, we have house games where we compete for house points. At the end of the year, house with the most points gets the house cup.
Houses are mixed by grade level. Day 1, he is meeting upperclassmen. So no longer when he walks through the hallway are there these grade level barriers that often exist in other schools. So he can walk through the halls and he sees a senior in his mentor group, and that senior is greeting him by name.
We are a Catholic school, we're grounded in the Catholic faith, but part of being Catholic means being welcoming and open to everyone. We embrace all walks of life, all faith traditions, and we really try to meet each student where they are.
You're required to do at least 25 hours of service and volunteer work. A lot of stuff we do is integrated into teaching you how to be a good servant leader.
Even though I'm not Catholic, there's a lot of good teachings from the Bible and the Catholic Church that I take into my everyday life. And I always feel like it's good to know about other people and their cultures. And through this, I've learned a lot.
At O'Dea, athletics are our fame. It's just overwhelming walking in there and just looking up and seeing all the banners.
It binds the students together, especially when you're playing. Like, the gym gets so loud and you win and everybody cheers and you come back to school and you feel like a hero.
Even if you're not the most sporty person, it's still just a way to connect with your brothers and hopefully make new friendships and make new bonds.
The O'Dea experience, it's one of a kind. People always talk about going to an all-boys school. It's really something you actually will really enjoy.
The brotherhood is a real thing. You can feel it. These guys truly care about each other. They celebrate each other's victories and successes almost more than they celebrate their own successes.
No matter who you are or what strengths and the weaknesses you bring, you have something to offer this school. And we would be honored to have you, and we think we have something to offer you too.
Do you want to go to school with not only great academics, great athletics, but also great people? If so, I think you should totally come here to O'Dea.
I really cherish my relationships with my brothers, and I cherish my relationships with my teachers, and I am proud to be a Fighting Irish.
cords, watch the cords. Let's get to work. Watch out for the cord.
All right, welcome back to the second half of our first round of the state playoff championships. Kelso Highlanders started the game by receiving. For the second half, the Fighting Irish will be receiving.
And we are back here live at Memorial Stadium, back from half. 31-0 the score right now. It has been all O day to this point. Jason Brown and Khalil Holiday, the ones doing the work. However, we cannot count out the 22-yard touchdown catch from Joe Gallagher in that second half. But truly, this O'Day offense and defense has been doing it all. That O'Day D making some critical stops and forcing a few really nice turnovers. But that O'Day offense moving the ball on the ground as well as through the air. But Jason Brown, and especially Khalil Holiday, getting those yards after contact has been something they've been so good at all night long. And I can only imagine we'll see more of that here in the second half. To kick it away for the first time tonight for Kelso, number 84, Mason Smith, a guy we've not seen all night. And as a team, you do not want to have your first kickoff come at the beginning of the second half.
You can say that again. Severio Di Simone has been out all night for the Irish. Been a very busy man as they've been able to push it in over and over and over again. Pushing this score very lopsided here as we kick off the second half of action. As there's, I believe, Christian Wynn back on the return, sprinting out. Has a good line of blockers out in front of him, and he gets loose. He's off the right side. He could be gone. Are they going to catch him? They will bring him down, but he's across the O'Day 40 and onto the Kelso 45. And he will drop that ball in Kelso territory, and the O'Day Fighting Irish have a spark to start the second half. Christian Wynn.
Christian Wynn moving through a tiny hole and powering through a ton of defenders, just fighting for extra yards the whole entire way. And as you can hear the O'Day student section saying, he is only a sophomore. He is 2 more years after the season of doing this. An incredible returner, a really powerful runner. However, there's a flag on the play as this one looks like it is coming back off of an O'Day hold. However, incredible run from Christian Wynn on that return there, springing himself loose and moving into open space deep down into Kelso territory there. Another replay there. Again, you see how well he just moves his legs and how he's able to run. It's so impressive, and how proficient he is at that. However, the ball will be moved back, but only to the 38-yard line. That is where O'Day will take over. Here's Kohler under center. He gives to Agassiz. Agassiz finds some room to run, barreling over defenders and gets to midfield. That'll be good enough for a gain of 11 and an Irish first down.
Agassiz back from the dead. An ankle injury in week 1 against the Union Titans has him out all year, and he returns for the state playoffs. He's back, and you can see that in a big way as the 11-yard carry gets a first down for the Fighting Irish. And off trots Khalil Holiday. And into the game, Christian Wynn, the hero of just a few seconds ago at the return spot. He'll be in as the tailback for the Irish.
And Donovan Agassiz, a guy that was making such an impact early for 3 plays in a row, however, unable to do anything more due to that ankle injury, but he is back, and he just showed it there on that powerful 11-yard run, doing his thing. He is truly a power fullback, not just in the blocking aspect, but in the running aspect. He doesn't run over defenders, he runs through defenders, and does it so well as he throws a nice block there, helping Christian Wynn pick up 3 yards, and that'll set up second and a little more manageable here. 2nd and 7, split back. It's here for O'Day. It's Agassiz as well as Holiday, and they will get Kelso to jump again, the 3rd time this game, and that will set up a 2nd down and 2 off the encroachment penalty from the Highlanders. Definitely, those mistakes are not what you can afford at this time in the game. A lot of people are kind of assuming right now, oh, this is O'Day, this is all O'Day. They're going to walk away with this one. It's not quite over yet, but mistakes like that make it less and less likely for a Kelso comeback, especially when you don't have that momentum. It's even more difficult to come back here, down 31. Here's Kohler, under center in the eye. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Pitch right to Holiday. Holiday finds a hole and moves right, able to get to the outside before he's taken down inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. And that will be good for a first down and much more for O'Day. Khalil Holiday moves the ball so well on the ground, able to find a small hole and just confusing that defense left and right.
Well, that was a nice play off the edge by, I believe it was Cale Franzen, getting off the block of Joe Gallagher and slowing him down just enough to ensure that he couldn't get all the way loose and punch it in and extend this Irish lead. His teammates were able to get there and wrap him up after he slowed him down, but a very nice play. Should not go unnoticed by Cale Franzen off the right side. As well, they'll line up again with Agassiz and Holiday. Gallagher and Jackson as the carry will go to Agassiz, and he'll cut up the middle, and he could go all the way. He's off the right hash, and he will be brought down, but he's inside the 5. Agassiz off of the injury, inside the 5 for the Irish, moving the chains, and they will look to punch it in from just 3 yards out.
Donovan Agassiz, such a powerful runner. He can the way he moves is so impressive, because getting one arm on him is not enough to stop him. You have to full body wrap up and tackle him. And it's a great job from Kelso secondary there to jump on top of his back and take him down. But that really shows what he is capable of on the ground there.
There's a nice play as they'll switch up the backs. They'll go into a 2 tailback, and there's Agassiz up the middle, and he's in! Touchdown, Irish! Agassiz's back from an injury, and you can see it in a big way. And here he is. The Irish lead 37-0. And ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough to keep them from the end zone tonight, and they'll go up by an unsurmountable amount here as the Irish will push their lead even further over the Highlanders.
And right there on the O'Day sideline, I saw something fly up, and that was the helmet of Jason Brown, and he was getting hyped for the senior, getting his first touchdown of the year after that long injury we've been talking about so often. Brown getting hyped for one of his fellow backs, getting in the end zone to put more up on the board for O'Day. And yet again, it is Saverio DeSimone as Mark Naboo goes out to greet his fellow senior classmate, Donovan Agassiz, after his first return to the sideline after that touchdown run. Incredible work from the Irish to this point. That O-line making it look easy for Agassiz and Holiday this drive. Kelso, though, they have to find something here to just try to stop O'Day some way, somehow. Already close to 3 minutes ticked off the clock in this second half. As you can see there, Agassiz on the incredible run. Sorry, that was Holiday. Then Agassiz again gets down inside the 5. You see how tough it is for these defenders to get him down and then punch it in from a few yards out. And just some incredible runners here from the Irish. I know they work so hard, especially with Coach P in the weight room. They don't miss leg day, and you can see it there with that speed and power that they run with. Definitely a thing that if you're a defender, you don't want to see. It is DeSimone again getting ready to kick it away here. Back deep once more is Cooper as well as Noah. Back deep to return. We've seen a few different types of kicks here from the Irish this season. Tonight, we've been mainly seeing some longer kicks, not as many just the short squibs that we know they like to do sometimes. Fielded by Cooper at around the 10. Cooper finds some room to run across the 30, and he's taken down at about the 35-yard line from the back by Davis Downer. And that is where Latier and the rest of this Highlanders offense will set up shop.
Nice return there by Cooper. He's been all over the field, receiving passes, taking back kicks, and making some key tackles as the safety for the Highlanders. And he'll come back out here and line up out wide. The Irish have a commanding 38-0 lead. Well, if I'm the Highlanders, you got to score, obviously. You can't keep coming up with these empty possessions. One of my keys to the game for them was coming up with either points or very pinned back Irish offenses with every single possession. They've not been able to execute that. Their first drive came within the red zone for them, and they weren't able to capitalize, and it's all gone downhill from there. They haven't been able to move the ball very well on offense since that first drive, and it's gotten worse as the O'Day defense has settled into a rhythm and shut them down early. And Newsom and Camacho have just been a force. And you'll see back deep for the Irish, it'll be Holiday, and he'll look out to his right and make the pass, but it seems to just go to no one. Goes out of bounds and just falls incomplete there. Nobody in particular he was throwing it to, as that was Latier on the throw. And he hasn't looked great throwing down the field. He's looked much better with screen passes here early.
Yeah, and Latier not got this. Kelso offense definitely not one to throw the ball too much. Not too unlike O'Day. However, Latier can let the cannon do its work when he needs. But a lot of the time, it's just a screen pass dump offs to Noah. As let's see what they do here in the pistol. Latier will drop back, looks for the slant. He is able to find his receiver wide open. That's Mays across midfield. Now taken down at the 45. There is a flag back at around the 40-yard line. We'll see what it is as the offense will return to the original line of scrimmage, possibly on the offense, but we'll just have to wait for the official call from the man in the white hat.
Well, that was certainly a nice throw, making up for my previous comments about him. Latier on a dot to Tyler Hayes, who was able to get a first down, but it looks like it may be coming back. We'll see what we have to say right here. Personal foul, face mask on the Irish. That's a tough call, you know. Not much you can do about it besides keep your hands away from the face when you're tackling. And sometimes that just works against the Irish, and they'll move the sticks even farther than they did. Kelso on offense, looking to move the ball into the red zone for the first time since their inaugural drive of the game. And they'll start from the O'Day 30-yard line. Try to turn it into some points here.
Here's Latier. And here's Latier in the gun. Looks right side. He's got his receiver on the screen there. Looking, gets around the corner. Will he get in? It looks like he will. Touchdown, Kelso. Number 2, Zeke Smith on the reception. Able to turn the corner, get around those Irish defenders, and dive into the end zone for the touchdown there. That came out of nowhere. 6 points here. That is something that Kelso definitely needs. Down big like this, it is still 38-6. Hopefully that becomes 7 for the Highlanders. However, that momentum shift can definitely help them in the long run.
Anthony Hall almost had that interception for the Irish, but a quick momentum shift as Smith was able to get off the edge, turn the corner with some elite speed, and that ball, that was blocked and falls just short of the uprights, so it will remain 38-6 in favor of the Fighting Irish.
It looks like Brendan Murphy was a little bit hurt on the play. Might have been the one to block that kick. We'll just have to take a look at the replay. He was not, unfortunate. However, he will come off the field on his own will before seeking any medical attention. But with that being said, this O'Day special teams looking to get this ball right back and possibly put 6 more on the board. However, at this point in the game, I think if you're O'Day, you're just trying to kill this clock. Still 8 minutes left in the third quarter of play. That's 20 minutes left in the game, which can seem like forever if your defense just trying to put this one away. And frankly, if they are not able to stop this momentum here from Kelso, it maybe could turn into something in the very long run.
Well, if you're the Irish, you don't want to sit around and get complacent. You're looking to score here, looking to make sure that you're not getting this game any closer than it has to be. You've looked dominant so far, and there's no reason to let this game get close. You're just trying to finish this one out, escape with a victory, and get out to the next round.
And here, once again, for the Highlanders, number 84, Mason Smith, with the onside try. It is not even close to good, as the hands team
on the recovery.
Looks like that's Rogan Bruce on the recovery there on the hands team, with Hank Kerr making sure to dive on top of it. No chance that ball fell out, but not quite what you want to see at an onside kick. The ball being kicked right to one of the guys on the hands team. However, those onside kicks are very difficult to perform to perfection. We don't even see pros do it 100% of the times that often. 8 minutes left in the third quarter of play here. However, an over 30-point lead for the Irish could lead to some reserves starting to get in here soon. I know maybe some new offensive linemen, new running backs with Christian Wynn in the game here. I don't see any sign of Khalil Holiday nor Jason Brown come back in the game. So it looks like Wynn will be running the show now. Now you can see Ben Greenan at center. Possibly Joey Meets, Kai Holek maybe checking in soon here for O'Day on that offensive line.
Well, Christian Wynn obviously had a stellar kickoff return earlier to start off the second half, and he'll look to get a chance to shine here as the tailback for the Irish. A nice carry there on first down. We'll see if they want to give it to him again. No, it's Kotsakis on the carry, and he'll just fight through until he's met by about 3 Kelso Highlanders and is taken down.
And that'll set up a third down and 3 here about for O'Day. Definitely a situation you want. Already chopped a minute off the clock on this on those first 2 plays here. And I can imagine John Kohler is trying to run this play clock down as low as possible to prohibit any chance of a comeback. I know turning that 1% chance into a none percent chance is very valuable, especially at this type of stage in the game. Wynn trying to find a hole. He finds a small one, able to get 2, maybe 2.5, not quite the 3 though. And that'll set up 4th down and 1, but the clock continues to run as we will get under 6 minutes here. But it looks like O'Day will keep the offense out there. I see Donovan Agassi checking in the power fullback. Possibly give to him. Kohler knows he can just power it up the middle with Agassi. I know I said power probably more times in that sense in the rest of my life, but that's really true about Donovan. He's a very full runner. However, it will be Kohler keeping up the middle, who gets about 1.5 yards, and that will be well good enough for an O'Day first down here with under 6 to go.
I don't know if well good enough would be the word I would use. That was very close. Looks like they're going to call my time and bring out the chains to measure the ball. Have to see what the ruling has here. It's either going to be 1st and 10 for the Irish or 1st and 10 for the Highlanders. Either way, I doubt it matters very much as the clock ticks down under 6 minutes here. 38-6. O'Day High School very much in control. And it has been a frigid yet beautiful night for some football here at Memorial Stadium, one of the prettier stadiums in Washington State. As that ball looks like it's good enough for an Irish first down, and they will indeed move the chains. And there she goes. So they'll move the chains, 1st and down for the O'Day Fighting Irish, and they'll look to see if they can get some points out of this drive and put an end to the Kelso rally that seems to be incoming here, as they put up a touchdown last time out. And out shots Lipscomb, and I believe that's Darian Murrah out to the outside for the Irish. Agassi, and there's Christian Wynn on the carry, and he's loose up the middle, and he will be in for a touchdown. 44 in for the touchdown for the Irish. Oh my goodness, and he's in from 40 yards out. And you never think that would be so consequential, but there it is on the new set of downs. Christian Wynn's able to power that one in, and that sheer speed he uses running downhill results in a touchdown for the Irish.
Great job there from Christian Wynn, identifying a huge gap up the middle. The sophomore getting plenty of appreciation from his sideline on his first touchdown carry there, but he was able to find a huge hole up the middle and just go straight through it, and he had plenty of room in front of him to be able to pretty much walk into the end zone without an issue using the speed that he had. DeSimone, defense not even trying to block the kick. That PAT is up and good. 45-6 your score here with 5:31 left in the third quarter play. We'll be right back here live on YouTube when action resumes.
Kelso Highlanders 6.
And we are back here live on YouTube as it is Declan Brown getting ready to kick this one away for the Irish. Once again, these kickoffs are becoming too frequent as the ball was fumbled there a little bit. However, getting to the outside for Kelso is number 7. That looks like Cal Friesen.
And Parker Paneleaf was there to push him out of bounds on the far sideline.
At the 32-yard line is where Kelso will take over.
Interesting to see what will happen here on defense for the Irish. It looks like we'll have star wide receiver Joe Gallagher in a corner on the bottom of your screen. Hiding behind the scoreboard as there's Brendan Murphy trying to make the solo tackle. Slows him down, and the rest of the defense is there to bring him down. There was Sir Keenan Hart, Anthony Hall, but Brendan Murphy will get most of the credit for that one.
No gain on the play. Second down, 10 to go.
Well, Kelso, any hope they had of a rally likely quashed with that last big touchdown from Christian Wynn. Really just gashed a hole in this defense, and they haven't been able to patch up the issue of big runs all night. It's been happening start to finish. As there's the jet sweep to Cooper on the outside, looks to make a few men miss following his blockers, and he has the first down, and he has a little bit more, and he's eventually brought down by Saxton, Hart, and Holiday. Pardon me, that's Anton Arujo there helping on the tackle.
And this Irish secondary, very good at, even when these runners are getting downhill, they're able to take them down, not necessarily with ease, but confidently every single time, not letting this Kelso offense get actually multiple big runs, as they just had the one touchdown run so far this game. But here's Latier back in the pistol, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, running back in the backfield. Flags will fly. It looks like somebody might have jumped early. Whether that's an offensive or defensive lineman is beyond me, but is not beyond the ref, as that is a false start, putting the Highlanders back 5 yards. I just want to comment, Mark, you are not slick. You cannot bat the ball out of midair when the refs are trying to pass between each other. Just had to slip that one in there.
Well, Kelso now pinned back on first down. Interesting to see what the play call will be here. They had the jet sweep work out for him a few plays ago. See if trickery will be the move here on first down and long for the Highlanders. Latier on the snap, rolls out, looking to his left, looking to pass, hits his tight end, and there he's inside the Irish territory and eventually falls out of bounds. Now, given a nice little push there by Brendan Murphy. That's a good gain, looking to air out the ball a little bit more, as you need a lot of points in a very short span of time if you're going to have any hope of winning this one.
8-yard gain on the play.
It's that O'Day secondary once again not really allowing those yards after contact, taking down ball carriers with confidence and with power there. They are no stranger to form tackling, as it looks like that is an official's timeout with 3:21 left in the third quarter of play here. Not really sure what the issue was. A little bit of a game clock issue. The game clock needs to be reset to 3:34.
Wow, they had it off by 13 seconds there.
State playoffs, don't see that type of thing much, but you never know. High school football is pretty strange sometimes.
As the Irish look to have 5 men back in coverage, and there's the run. Will not go anywhere. Down at the line of scrimmage. But no, not great, as that's going to push them to 3rd down and 7 or so. Unfortunately, probably not going to end up in a conversion here, as they've struggled with that all night. This stout Irish defense looking good. Unfortunately, couldn't quite keep their shutout intact. I'm sure any one of them will tell you that it's a big thing for them to have that shutout last all game. But I'm sure they're still quite happy with their performances. There's the screen to the outside, and he can't quite make the tackle there. That's Bugby, but he will be pushed out of bounds by Hart and McDonald. And that's short of the line to gain. Will be 4th down for the Highlanders.
That is, I think, the first time I've seen in many games an O'Day defensive back not able to wrap up and tackle on the first try. Tyler Bugby there trying to just fly in and make the tackle out of nowhere. Wasn't quite able to do so. However, he had his guys behind, only a few yards behind him, able to wrap up and do their thing as well. Here comes Kelso on 4th down and 5 from the 47-yard line of O'Day. Trips receivers right, 1 to the left, running back in the backfield. Here's Latier rolling right, looks deep for his receiver. He's got Smith.
Wow.
Wide open. No one in coverage, able to thread the zone defense there, and that'll be good enough to move the chains for Kelso. 1st down.
Well, my goodness, was that quite the catch from Zeke Smith, the 6-foot wide receiver, using all that frame to get up and get the ball in off of his helmet before tapping his feet down in bounds. Don't see that very often, but that's a nice show of athleticism from the wide receiver who's had Kelso's only points so far. And, of course, a nice little throw from Hunter Latier as he'll look to take the snap again. There was the third down conversion, and they'll hand it off to the running back out of the backfield who has some space off the left sideline. They'll cut it back inside, make a few more men miss, and just keeps trucking away. But there was a flag in the middle of the field at the line of scrimmage. We'll see what the call will be. It will be holding on the Highlanders, and they'll have to back it up another 10 yards. And unfortunately, they have been backed up to start both of their last 2 first downs. First and 15, and now it'll be first and, I believe, first and 20 here for Kelso.
Definitely.
And the game clock will, sorry, go ahead.
Definitely have some momentum going in their direction right now. However, a penalty like that could hurt later on as you want to keep that momentum going and score as quickly as possible here with the clock running. Under 2:30 left in this third quarter of play. Here's Latier, looks left side. That pass is batted down, looks like batted down by Zach Proctor there. The big 6'3", I believe, defensive end. That was Brendan Murphy batting the ball down, the 6-foot safety. And that'll bring up a second down and a country mile to go.
Well, they're going to have to air the ball out here. If I'm them, I'm looking to Zeke Smith. He has been their guy so far tonight. He's out there covered by backup corner Joe Gallagher. He's your man to look to if you're going to try and get a first down here. As there's the look to the right, the pass is high and it goes over his head. Kai McDonald looked to make a big hit there. Fortunately, he can't quite do so. The pass was intended for Cale Franzen, went over his head, couldn't bring it down. And there will be third down and just about in forever for the Highlanders.
I could see Kai McDonald closing in on the receiver there. Definitely wanted to just make that big hit and crack the receiver, however, was unable to. He decided that getting that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was not worth the glorification of a huge hit there. And Latier, as well as the Kelso offense, will take a timeout with 2:10 left in this third quarter here. Kelso moving the ball pretty well right now. However, I don't think they're doing it quite fast enough. They got to pick up the tempo if they want to somehow come back and win this thing here. But still 14:09 to go in this one. Plenty of time for anything to happen.
Well, some names to watch for the Irish on defense. They're going to have a few new guys in on defense. Some of them to watch. Anton Arujo, who had an interception last week against Auburn in the 48-8 win. He's out there. Zach Dedeker, number 40 in the yellow cleats, will be a new piece of this Irish defense, as well as on the far side of your screen, the cornerback will be Joe Gallagher, who is a star wide receiver but does not usually play defense, as well as number 79 on the defensive line, Eamon Ephraim, will look to get to the quarterback.
Definitely rotating some guys in different positions now. Not the worst thing to see as he looks deep for Zeke Smith, who had it in his hands, just not able to bring that catch in. However, that was incredible one-on-one defense by Kyan McDonald, just barely half a step behind him. Zeke Smith, though, almost had a big-time touchdown catch. And unfortunately, though, it will be 4th down and 20 here for the Highlanders. What they're going to do, I have no idea. Whether they want to pull off an insanely long field goal, I would doubt. Going for it seems like the option here. Here's Latier dropping back, looks over the middle. He's got his man. No, he does not. And that is incomplete. Turnover on downs. O'Day will take over with 2 minutes left here in the third quarter of action. I know those first 2 quarters zoomed by, however, plenty of incomplete passes and runs out of bounds, as well as first downs has made this third quarter slower than the first 2. If you're Kelso, that's what you've wanted. However, Kelso was an ideal situation here. They only be down 14-28 or so. That would have put them back on track to, or 14-31, I'm sorry, put them back on track to get back in this one. However, 45-6 is, I can assume, not what they would have wanted here. Here's Wynn and Brown in the backfield. Brown will take it to the fullback position, finds room to run, and just accepts the contact and drives through it for a gain of 8 up to the 45. Declan Brown saying he is not done. He is still going. And I know if they had not whistled that play dead, he would have broken through those tackles and probably taken it to the house. However, the rest will stop him after a gain of 8, and that'll set up second and shorts.
Well, in that last drive, you saw Zeke Smith just not able to bring one in on that play right there. He was hit hard by the back. That was Declan Brown on the carry, and that will be Christian Wynn yet again on the carry, and he'll stay up and then be able to get across the 50-yard line and get a first down following his blockers. And he has been impressive as a youngster so far this game as well. Some new names to watch on offense for the Fighting Irish as they're going to get some of their new guys in there. I believe I saw 76, which would be Nathaniel Nienberg in for the Fighting Irish, as well as some other offensive linemen. There's Finn Green in at center, the sophomore. And out wide, you'll have Tyler Bugby at the top of your screen.
And I know, unfortunately, we do not have a Jason Brown cam. However, he is celebrating more than I think any other man on that sideline, getting hype after just about every play. See him once more there supporting his teammates as much as he can. Doing a great job on the sideline there, Jason Brown, even though that is not quite a familiar place to him. Clock ticking under 30 seconds. O'Day does not have to snap it before the end of the quarter. And they will not, as Kohler makes his way to the sideline. Yes, as the rest of the offense will make their way to the sideline. 3 quarters down, 1 to go, 45-6 the score right now. It's been all O'Day. That'll do it for 3 quarters of play. We'll be right back here live on YouTube when action resumes.
It is the O'Day Fighting Irish, 45, Kelso Highlanders, 6.
And we are back here for the start of the 4th quarter of play. I know there's been a lot of college basketball on recently, and tonight the Duke Devils have won as it's Sir Keenan Hart inside the 10. Will he make it in? Yes, he will. Touchdown, Irish. Sir Keenan Hart. However, it looks like this one will come back as there is a holding call back at the 40-yard line. Kohler is frustrated. I know Coach Fitch is trying to calm down, saying, it's all right, get it back next play here. And this one will come back. However, I know that memory will stay with them. It is holding on O'Day. However, a similar play call in their future, I can only imagine, would be relevant here, as that was very successful. Possibly that holding call was what made it so successful, but we won't know until we try again. Nice job there from Hart. Hart, a very quick runner, not too far off from what Jason Brown does on the ground. Able to get into space very quickly away from the line of scrimmage and just break loose and sprint to the end zone. Almost had the touchdown. Holding call called it back. Kohler drops back, pass left side. Jackson making a move on his man. Jackson tripped up and pushed out of bounds inside the 30 at the 29. Great job there from the junior receiver. So Jay Jackson hasn't seen too much action this year, but a great job on the catch and run there. Perfect drop back and throw, though, from the quarterback, John Kohler, able to deliver that on a dot. And a nice catch and run for about 20 yards and a first down from the Irish here. But prior to that touchdown, I was saying a lot of college basketball going on. And O'Day graduate Paulo Banchero dropping a double-double on Army in Duke's 82-56 win over West Point, as it's Hart this time with a gain of about 2. Not as successful as the touchdown run, and that will set up a 2nd down and 8.
Sorry for the microphone malfunction there, as Sir will trot off the field after a few successful downs, and that's what you want to see from your young sophomores. They're getting some playing time here in the state playoffs, getting them some experience in these critical situations, and they are showing why they earned it. And I believe in the backfield, that's Xavier Agassiz, younger brother of Donovan Agassiz, at the fullback spot, and behind him is Christian Wynn. So the handoff will be to Wynn, who will cut it up the middle, following his blockers, and he's free, and he's up the right hash, and he's in for the touchdown. Number 2 for Christian Wynn. 44's in again. Touchdown, Irish.
Christian Wynn with 2 touchdowns tonight on his first serious varsity appearance. Before this, he's been a return man and sometimes getting in at halfback. However, tonight he is making his presence known as a reserve, getting greeted by Jason Brown, who has done similar things this season. Wynn showing some incredible speed there, and possibly a back they're going to use more in the future, knowing how he can perform in situations like this. With just under 11 minutes to go here of play in this one, as Kohler not happy that he's not holding the PAT, as it looks like Dana will come on to hold the kick after. They're looking for Joey Meats on the sidelines. However, it is Mark Naboo who will get in the game to block for this point after. Severo DeSimone, perfect at this point so far. And it looks like a penalty flag.
Well, my goodness. Not quite sure what happened there, but my buddy here is having a little bit of a rough time. He's laughing. And, well, seeing Mark Naboo run out on the field there was certainly a sight to behold, and the delay of game will back them up a few yards, but don't get another shot at it right here. And we'll see what happens. And Severo DeSimone out to try, and a little bit in an extended extra point with Luke Dana, sophomore quarterback, in the hold. And there's the snap, and the kick is up and good. That one had a lot of elevation, and, well, you can't see it, but back there was, I believe, Xavier Johnson-Mitchell taking the kickoff ball, taking the extra point ball. And, well, the delay of game on the confusing little play there for the Irish doesn't affect them too badly, as the score is 52-6 in favor of the Fighting Irish, and we'll see what happens on this next drive.
Down 46, 11 minutes to go. I don't want to say it'd take a miracle to pull off a comeback here, but this is definitely not what you want to see if you're Kelso right now. I don't think this is the ideal situation from these guys. However, they have had their plentiful moments of bright spots in this one, with a touchdown catch from Zeke Smith, as well as a few nice runs from a few of their backs as well. Not a bad game for Latier, with 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions to this point. However, 11 minutes left. The O'Day defense could want to change that around. I know they pride themselves on being the best in the state, not just one of the best, as it's Declan Brown to kick it away. Let's field about the 15-yard line. Making a move is Zane, and he is taken down and flattened by the sophomore Davis Downer. Definitely a guy who has made a lot of plays on that special teams unit, and a guy who will not quit, as a few more names checking into the game for the Irish, including Parker Pantaleaf, as well as Isaiah Nolan and Zach Dedeker. Anthony Cabrera out there, as well as Chris St. Louis.
And we'll see what happens, as there is Parker Panaleaf on the far side at cornerback. You got Davis Downer in at linebacker, and there's the pass. Looking to his right, back to his left, and the... Oh my goodness, I think that was unintentional, but that is the most incredible touchdown catch I have ever seen. He's in. Oh my goodness, what in the world just happened? That's Connor Noah in for the touchdown for Kelso. My goodness, what did I just witness? That was amazing. Wow.
I think every jaw in this entire stadium has been dropped on that incredible play.
What in the world? I believe the pass was to Zeke Smith, who either bobbled or pitched it to Connor Noah, who was running up the right sideline. I have zero idea if that was intentional or not, but that was amazing. I've never seen anything quite like that. And the Irish will have their lead cut down to 13-52. I'm not sure how torn up about it they are, but that was amazing. I've never quite seen a touchdown like that in my entire life. Connor Noah taking that one in from deep for the Highlanders, but shout out to Zeke Smith for the nice pitch.
Honestly, if I'm Coach Cole in that scenario, not something you want to see if it's in a tight game. However, at this point, that was an incredible play from Kelso, and not something I'd be too mad about happening to me, especially in a situation like this. Kelso, if that play had come back in the second quarter, it would have a different effect on this one. However, an incredible play nonetheless here with exactly 10 minutes left on the clock. Man, that was, and the speed coming from Noah there down the sideline, there was no chance anyone was going to catch him, as it looks like Kelso will try their second onside kick of the game. I know I see Declan Brown out there with Joe Gallagher, quarterback Charlie Horry on the hands team, as well as Isaiah Nolan, Kyan McDonald, Brendan Murphy, Zach Newsom, Donovan Agassid, and more.
Well, I'm very sorry if any of our O'Day homers were a little bit upset over the excitement at that last touchdown, but how can you not be hyped up, because that was really freaking cool. A huge touchdown there for Kelso. Doesn't do much to affect the outcome of this game, but my goodness, if you watch that, you are one lucky person, because that was a gift to watch. Holy cow.
I doubt anything. I think that goes on top 3 plays of the high school season this year across the state. I know I haven't seen anything more impressive than that. Just an incredible job.
Definitely got to send that one into Max Preps.
I think that skips Max Preps, goes straight to overtime.
I don't know. Maybe we could get it on SportsCenter if we're really feeling adventurous. But I believe the false start was the call on the kickoff. It'll back them up 5 yards, and see what they'll try here. As the last kick seemed to be a chip over the head of the back row of the hands team. See if their fast guys can get to it faster than the O'Day guys. But see what they do here, as it will most likely be an onside kick. Christian Wynn, the lone man deep for the Irish, and it will be another chip attempt. Wynn will field, bobble, and just go down at about the 37. A nice reception by Wynn to make sure he had that one under control.
Smart move from Wynn there. Not trying to risk anything as he just goes down. Probably the best move to make, as we see more names coming out on the field. I know I see Charlie Horry out at quarterback, along with Kai Holek, Rocco Daly, as well as a few other names like Brandon Pascal and others. Back in the backfield is Christian Wynn, as well as Xavier Agassid. Darian Moreau on one side. Can't quite tell who's on the other side. Jack Wellborn lined up at tight end.
Boy.
The give to Agassid will go nowhere. I think that's the first negative contribution tonight from the Irish, coming late here in this one. And that'll bring up a second down, especially if you're this O'Day offense, running a lot of your 2s and mainly 3s, though. but you're facing the starting Kelso defense. Impressive outing so far to be able to do this, to put up 52 points when for the second half you had a lot of reserves in. As it's Horry once again. I formation here. One receiver to either side. Pitch right side. Win. Finds some room to run. He will get 5, it looks like. And that'll set up a 3rd down and medium here. Linebacker came off the edge. Couldn't tell quite who it was, but was not able to stop him there.
So we'll give you a little bit of an updated roster picture here for the O'Day Fighting Irish. We'll try to set you up as best we can. So on the offensive line at center, we'll have Finn Greenan. On the tackles, we'll have Eli Howe and Kai Hollick. At the guard spots, we'll have Brandon Pataxel on one side and Rocco Daly on the other. At tight end, Jack Wellborn. On the outside, we'll have Darian Murrah. And I can't quite tell who that is on the far side. I'll get you updated next time we see his number. There's Charlie Horry in the backfield with Christian Wynn and Xavier Agassiz, and Wynn takes it, and that should be good enough for the first down. The spot will be at the 48, and that is enough to move the chains for the Fighting Irish. So on the far side there for the Fighting Irish, not a new face. That was indeed Sam Lipscomb, the senior for the Fighting Irish. But it'll be interesting to see what Charlie Horry can do for this Irish offense. This here's Horry, and see what he wants to do here. As he's still not quite set as the play clock ticks under 10 seconds. There he goes, and the offensive line goes down. Snap is good to Wynn, who will look for a hole, but he is eventually cut down. A nice play there by Michael House of Kelso, and he will hit Christian before he can get a gain. And that was a nice play.
I know I saw on the left side there, lined up at left tackle, Sam Howell absolutely bullying the defensive end. Incredible work there. Or Eli Howe, I'm sorry, not his older brother Sam, who's now playing at the Merchant Marine Academy. Eli Howe making that defensive end have no chance to get in the backfield. Definitely got on that offensive line we might be seeing more of in the future as he's only a sophomore. Kai Holek that time able to get to the second level as it's Christian Wynn still being forced forward with help of Xavier Agassiz as well as his own force, and that will set up a 3rd down and short here.
Not quite sure what happened there. It looks like a bit of a miscommunication, but good job by Wynn to make sure he's still getting downfield and keeping his legs moving in order to get 3rd and short here for the Irish. Pardon me. Out comes Christian. That'll be the first time in a few series that he's subbed out. We'll see who got into the game there at tailback for the Fighting Irish in just a second. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the backfield will consist of Sir Keenan Hart and Xavier Agassiz with Charlie. I believe that is that is Charlie Horry taking snaps. We'll hand off to the fullback Agassiz, who will try and power it over the line to gain, and I believe he does move the chains.
And checking into the game for the Irish, wide receiver number 81. I believe that is Anthony Tisch. It is Anthony Tisch. And checking in at offensive line is number 62, Joey Meats, the man that the crowd wants, the people have spoken, and Kohler has answered. And that will set up a 1st and 10 here for O'Day. Moreau lined up to the near side, Tisch to the far side. It's Agassiz and Wynn still in the backfield, Wellborn at tight end. Here's Horry. He'll pitch to Hart, not Wynn, and he will get 5 on the carry there, and that'll set up a 2nd down and medium. Clock ticking down to 4:30 here in this one. Not a lot of time for Kelso to do anything. I don't want to say it's over because we still have 4.5 minutes left, but we're getting there.
It'll be interesting to see if Charlie Horry, the backup, can lead this team all the way down the field and score. He is a senior, so it's not exactly like he's fighting for next year's reps, but it's still always great to see your seniors get a little farewell tour before they head off into the world. And that is exactly what will happen. We'll see Sir Keenan Hart try and make up for his earlier touchdown that was called back due to holding. As there looks to be just a little bit of confusion here from Horry, who will not send the offensive line down, and now 5 seconds on the play clock. Agassiz up the middle, finds a little bit of room, and I believe he got the first down, but not quite. No, and they will mark him beyond the line to gain, and he will get a first down, moving the chains for the Irish with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
And right there, Charlie Horry realized everyone was set, but they still had 25 seconds left on the play clock, and they wanted to run it down as much as possible. So he made those O-linemen stand in their stance for 25 seconds. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. The coaches probably appreciate it more, though, making sure their calves are burning by the end of this game, getting their workout in. 17 seconds left on the play clock. Horry just trying to wind this clock down as much as possible with 3:10 remaining in this one. I can see Stanwood and Eastside Catholic coming out of the locker rooms now, getting ready to do battle right after this, the 2 and 15 seed. Eastside Catholic and O'Day seedings say that they will meet in the semifinals, and I can certainly say that is a likely scenario. I personally would rather see them in the state championship as an ODA student, but I'll take what I can get. I will take it, as we are under 2:40 here on second and medium.
Well, the Irish probably don't have to score again. I would be surprised if they did. Beating a team by any more than they have to is one of the anti-ethics for Coach Kohler, and that'll be Agassiz up the middle. Fighting, dragging Tyler Clevin with him, and he will move the chains for the Fighting Irish, and that will make the clock tick under 2 minutes as they're going to go to the huddle again and get set.
And there's no 2-minute warning, need I remind you again, in high school football. That is only an NFL thing. However, the victory formation is what Horry will line up in right now with Agassiz, Hart.
And that is Ashton Lacuna just back to make sure that nothing goes crazy awry here for the Fighting Irish. Nice to see him in a game. He's been injured most of the year, and he'll get a good snap or two in here.
Looks
even
like.
if you say that's meaningless. And also in the game, 32, that'll be, pardon me. That's Xavier Agassiz, we know him. And running out there was 59, Henry Polloy.
And definitely the noise here is picking up. O'Day saying they want Eastside next, and I bet Eastside wants them. That should be a fun matchup to see in the state semifinal as Horry takes another knee. That is counting on both these teams winning this round matchup as well as the next in the quarterfinal. So with 45 seconds left, I think I can pretty well say that O'Day will walk away with another mark in the W column, beating Kelso 52-13. Still one more kneel down to wrap this one up.
And there it is, Charlie Horry wrapping the game up for the Fighting Irish. That will conclude it. The sidelines will meet and shake hands. The fans will clap and cheer Kelso with a valiant effort, not enough to finish off the O'Day Fighting Irish, who will move on unscathed to the next round of the state playoffs. They're starting their journey to win state. An impressive one if it happens. And there it is, final. Your O'Day Fighting Irish 52, Kelso Highlanders 13. They make the trip up from southern Washington, fall short in a great first round battle. And we will look back here next week on either Friday or Saturday, where O'Day will match up with their quarterfinal opponent. It will be a barn burner no matter what. We know this team is capable of going to state this year, capable of winning state this year, and it will be a fun one to follow next week. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm Harlan Grady.
I'm Jack Nolan.
And to all our viewers out there, thank you very much. You are what makes this possible. We really appreciate it. And behind the scenes, we have John Orm and Paco and Aiden, and all of our guys here at the DMC are very grateful for your continued support. We will see you next week here live on YouTube. I'm Harlan Grady.
I'm Jack Nolan.
Have a good night.